All the audio's on. Everybody can hear us.
What do you mean
Yeah.
they can hear us?
Scene has been shifted.
Yay! So,
Apparently, so have my
hello,
contacts.
hello, everybody, and
Hello.
welcome back. It's been a bit.
We're back.
Yeah, we exist.
There's
Yep.
been too
Welcome to
many
this
sickies.
Hi.
30th session of In the Demon's Grasp, our custom campaign, D&D campaign. Poor
Homebrew.
Althemia isn't able to make it right now. She is currently going through some after surgery healing and isn't up to it at the moment. But hopefully soon.
Yes,
Close
Allie
crossed.
needs to get better faster. We miss her.
So when last we left off, the group was on a boat. They had just gone into a somewhat cellar, somewhat temple, it's hard to say, and encountered a demon that was either destroying a wall or building a wall. They came back. They got an emergency message from Elsbeth, the mayor, and I guess spokesperson slash leader of the entire island, who is over Novell, and Novell is one of two sister cities that are considered the capital of the island. She's not a king or a queen. The mainland still has control over the goings on here, but she is like the representative that would normally, speak with them or go out to represent the island.
She's the head of communications.
Yeah. She is also the leader of the Couriers Guild here that's in shipments, letters, news, stuff like that all around. They were requested. It was said it was an emergency, please come now. So Mistral used her powers of magic circle, teleportation circle, to pretty much beeline from the ship all the way to Novell. When they appeared, there was chaos. People were bumping into each other. There were papers flying all over the place. And Elsbeth was overseeing things up on a like banister type area upstairs in front of her office.
Very much gives me like a newspaper office final edits thing.
She
Like,
clapped her
Old
hands.
school. Old school. That doesn't happen anymore.
She clapped her hands, got the chaos to pause for a moment, to tell the party that she was happy they were there and beckon them upstairs. I will say, while you all have met Elsbeth before, you have always spoken to her down here on the main floor. You have never been to her office. She's in her 60s. It's hard to tell exactly how old. She's human. Her hair is silvery, but has hints of red in it, so it ends up being like a very strawberry silver. You're not quite sure whether it's natural or if she makes it look that way.
Firebutt, you might want to hold on a sec.
Okay.
Needy User is saying in somebody's chat that they can't hear anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to see which chat it is.
That's me. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
I'm good.
I saw that
We're
as
good.
well.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
So back on.
It's good he said that because my mic wasn't working on mine.
Oh,
So
dear.
My mic is
Hold
working
on.
now.
Hold on. They can't hear. They can't hear
Nobody
you.
heard me
Hold on
say,
a second.
"We're back."
That's weird. 1 second.
Discord
I thought
might
we
be.
said our
We all said that
things
audio
were
levels were
jumping.
moving.
You
Yeah.
guys are working, and now you're not.
Goodness.
Oops.
I did not say that because I definitely didn't check.
Oh,
Tisk
my dear.
tisk. Are we there? You're only loud when you move. Oh, that's
Me?
from a different chat. Sorry.
I'm like, I am going closer and farther from my
You're
mic,
only
so...
loud when you move. Who?
No, there we go. I think
I
you
don't
guys
even
should be
see
okay.
that message, so...
Yep.
That was in Honey's chat. I had
Oh.
the wrong. Yeah, I had the wrong
Oh, it's
chat
not
open.
even part of our group. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay.
You should be set now. Yeah, you're good.
Neither User,
Okay.
do you
Testing,
hear
testing.
sounds?
At least we figured this out right at the start instead of at the end.
Right? Oh.
So
Just some-
TLDR, they got an emergency phone call from Elsbeth, and they answered the call. Yay!
Okay. Woo.
Yeah.
So she has beckoned you all upstairs and has turned around and disappeared from the balcony that she was standing on.
I guess we follow her up.
Yes.
There are 2 sets of stairs that lead upstairs. That's what she looks like. Thank you, AI, for the assistance.
You said before that it's kind of bustling here. Does that include the stairs?
No, this is all down on the main floor. Going up and down the stairs will be rather easy for you. Occasionally you see someone going up or down, but they're not scrambling or something like that. So it
Okay.
is safe to get up the stairs without bumping into anybody.
Just because I can, and Cole is already depressed and needs a little joy in his life. He walks up the stairs on top of the banister.
Okay.
There are a few heads
The
that turn
monkey.
towards you, but they definitely seem like they're more intent on what's going on, around them instead. So no one pays you any mind, but you do get a thumbs up from one of the people that's walking down the stairs next to you.
All right.
So you go up the stairs, and this is a long wall that has several rooms leading off of it. In the middle of it is a large double door that has Elsbeth's name hanging on a sign next to it. Her full name is Elsbeth, Elsbeth Whitewood.
Well, I'm guessing that's her office.
Yep.
Presumably.
Well,
So
and we've been there before.
yeah, you've seen the place, but you've never actually been in her office before.
Yeah.
She steps up to the door and opens it up as she sees you all through a window pane that's on the door, and ushers you all inside. Please do come in, get us away from the loudness and chaos that's going on right now. It's definitely been a few days.
Okay.
And she hand waves you all in.
I will walk in the office.
I'll
I'll
go in
follow.
and kind of go off in a corner, all depressed.
So the first thing you notice as you walk into her office is in the middle of the office is what appears to be a sand sculpture of the island. The sand seems pretty sturdy. It's even got the contours of the mountains and everything. It's a pretty good model of the island. And on this little sand sculpture, you see little tiny mechanical ants that seem to be walking along the roads of it very, very slowly. On her back wall is a painted, what's the word? I'll just say painted map of the island as well that's just up that shows the major names. It's very iconic. It's the standard map that normally is given out to people on the island when, like a visitor comes and wants to buy the island. Her desk is currently covered in open letters, papers, scrolls. There's also a small, well, I say small, but it's like a small suitcase, not the big ones, but a small, like paper,
Briefcase.
Like
yeah,
a briefcase. Yeah.
size wooden box that's currently shut on her desk. She takes a deep breath and leans her back against her desk, sitting like up on it on her bottom, just leaning up against her desk as she looks at you all and says, "Okay, please close the door if you would." Uh, so whoever's in last.
Probably me.
Yeah.
I'll close the door.
So you close the door, and the chaos outside dampens, not completely, but it's considerably quieter in here. And she looks at you all. She has a worried look on her face. You can definitely tell that she's irritated more than anything at the moment. And she leans off she claps her hands again, just like she did out in the main room. A little bit
Attention.
quieter than then, though. What was that?
Attention.
Yeah.
Kind of clap.
She says, "Thank you all for coming on such short notice. I won't waste time for it. Something is very wrong, and you may be the only ones left who can do anything about it." Then she follows it up with, "Go
I was
ahead."
just gonna say I'm gonna look at her just expectantly.
Okay. She follows up with, "Nearly every able-bodied worksman, artisan, and everything on the island has been called off the island. Even Wigglefern has left his chapel over in Kashi to a novice cleric because he was called off on business. 4 of the 5 druids have left for uh, their 10-year meeting, uh, and it's just all weird all at once. And then the blue light that came through, everything stopped working. I spent so much time trying to contact people, and you all were the only ones I was able to get in touch with. There was a bard apprentice that had to come in and help with several scrolls of sending because nobody could cast any spells."
Yeah, we kind of
I
experienced
can
that too.
right now.
Well, we had a blip and we had a day of exhaustion, but everything seems to have come back now magically.
Except
Yes.
for Cole right now. We're still trying to work that one out.
She
That's a
tilts her head
separate issue.
quizzically. Okay. Uh,
It came back, but now it's gone again.
More
So-
importantly, we'll get to that. What news do you have on this blue light? We did actually witness it, or at least myself and Bannock did.
the few
From the
reports that
tower.
have come in said that the place it seemed to have originated was towards the southwest of the island. That seems to be where the wall came from or started from. We're not sure. Do you have any information on that?
It certainly seemed to come in from the ocean into the island. I can confirm that. And then
And then, and
you
then
would confirm the direction, Bardo.
and
Is
then
that correct?
shortly. That's correct.
Okay.
You know, as far as y'all could tell, when it happened by as quick as it did, it was coming from the southwest and it went northeast.
hmm
Uh, and then shortly thereafter, this fog appeared out there. We've lost all contact with the mainland. We have lost all contact with the with the Stratton Academy because they were out to sea doing their training for full boat work and seamanship. So it's pretty much just militia that are around now and you.
So essentially, you've lost contact with anything beyond the fog.
Yes. Even the method that I normally use to get updates from the mainland isn't working. All attempts at sending messages, nothing seems to be going out anywhere.
Out of character.
Uh-huh.
More to Lily, do you think we should be telling her about the things that we found?
I don't want to tell her about what's beyond the portal because I don't want to cause a panic.
No, not the portal. I'm
I
talking
do
the
think
book.
we should bring up the book, and
That-
I do
that's
think
what
we
I
should
was
bring
meaning.
up that
Tell
we
her what's
went to
beyond
the
the-
southwest.
Tell her what's beyond the portal.
I'm sure Cole will blurt out what's beyond the portal when we get there, but that's a Cole problem.
I was meaning
No,
more the book.
Cole's just off in the corner, like trying to cast magic repeatedly.
I was meaning the
But
book
no, like-
because we have
Off in the corner.
prophecies.
Right. I was gonna say, and before you said above board, um, was we can tell her that I looked into it and found a book in my collection, and that we were investigating the Southwest when we were called here, and then go from there based on what we get back. All right.
Yeah,
So back
that's
in the
where.
game.
Okay.
Okay. So when you all have met with her and spoken with her before, she seems pretty confident in herself. She doesn't really seem like a proud person, but she seems like somebody who can get the job done, and you can tell that she's frazzled. She's dealing with a lot of chaos right now, and it's way above what she normally would. You can see the wrinkles on her face from uh, like where she's been awake for a day or two, little bags under her eyes. She looks tired, and she still looks like she's going regardless of that. Then she go ahead.
We'd established previously that I was either carrying around either the book itself or a transcription of what we could find that was immediately relevant.
Hmm.
Yes?
I think you
Okay.
kept the
Yes.
book at home
Yeah, you had
and brought a
the actual book at home.
transcription.
Yeah, I transcribed. Okay. So yeah, I'll start pulling the transcription out.
Okay, she stops talking for a moment and tilts her head, and she says, "What do you have there? Does it have something to do with these goings on?"
Yes, after we experienced the magical blip, for lack of a better word, and the blue light, I did actually check and see if I had anything in my tower that might have been relevant in my research tomes, and I did come across something.
Oh, that sounds great. What did you find?
It's kind
And
of
I will,
weird.
yeah, I'll hand over the transcription so she can kind of peruse it.
Okay, so you hand over the transcription of the pages that made reference to the fog and the guy and how he thought it was one thing and then decided it
Hmm.
was another. And she reads over this pretty quickly. It doesn't take her long to do so, as if she's used to reading for some reason.
Yeah.
And then she offers it back to you,
Yep.
and she says, "That's quite interesting there about the fog. Did you have anything about the light or what might have caused that?"
Uh, let's see. Did we have anything about the light? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think you did.
Just essentially, it was a magical blip that's now keeping us
Yeah.
in a barrier.
Y'all assumed that it was part of the fog since the fog happened immediately
Hmm.
after, but
Like the
beyond that, I don't
activation?
remember there being something about it.
Yeah, and then we had also made sure that all of our machinery came back into order and observed how it came back after the blip. So
Yeah.
there would be those observations since Bannock and Mistral were up and active when it happened.
And the only weird thing we noticed was the altar in our um prayer room was different and weird.
Which I don't think we would necessarily have bring
Mentioned.
up right now. I don't know that we would assume it was immediately relevant to this. Because I have a feeling, especially with the description of Elsbeth looking kind of frazzled, she's probably trying to focus on one issue at a time
Yep.
Yeah.
to not get overwhelmed. Um,
Then she
so
takes
I would mention the observation about the fog seemed immediately linked
she nods her
timeline.
head and rubs her chin. Then you see her pull out from the inside of her top, her bustier, what appears to be a piece of parchment, and she picks up a quill off of her desk, dips it into ink, and writes something down on the parchment, and folds it back up.
Keeping
And then
notes
she
to
looks,
herself.
and then she looks back at you all again, and she says, "Normally, I would take a lot more time and go through the proper channels of contacting the Adventurers Guild and everything else. But considering the circumstances, I can't get in touch with anybody who I should be able to. You've done good work for me before. She says this mainly looking at Mistral and Bannock, but she does kind of turn her head to take in all of you. But it seems more like for that statement she's talking towards Mistral, and she says, "I trust you, and we've got other goings on outside of this fog that's starting to get troubling, and I'm thinking it's more than a coincidence at this point."
I would say that's likely true. We do at least have some of our resources. We did get to check in on Stormvale immediately after the event, since it's very close to the tower. And our good friend Wade is still up and operating. He's on his
That's
way
good.
here to meet us.
Yeah, most of the fishermen, as far as I can tell, that stay near the island are good. Some of my carriers have gotten back to me with some ill tidings. I've lost contact with two of my carriers, and she kind of waves her hand towards the sand sculpture on her table there, and then kind of leans down and points over towards Kashi, where you can see one of the little metallic ants just kind of sitting there, not moving,
Hmm.
and then another that's not moving, that's down near Farrington.
Okay.
So I've lost contact with both of those. We've had tidings from the rest of them that just got back to me today that within the past week or so, there have been disappearances happening over the island. Several children have gone missing, and that's, I know, uh, far more of a concern for me at the moment than lack of contact is, if we can't get help from the outside and something's going on, she just kind of throws her hands up in there and says, "I don't know what to do. Bats have appeared in the northwest near Kashi. We've got people going missing. I've lost contact with people." And she kind of takes a deep breath and lets out air and tries to calm herself down so she doesn't like lose it. You can tell that she is rattled greatly.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely see how you could be in need of assistance, but what specifically would you be asking of us?
Uh, for the
What would we
time
be able to
being,
do to help?
for the time being, uh, I think we need to look into the disappearances. Normally, I would say, contact others so that everybody can go to the towns to check on what's going on. But circumstances as they are, you're kind of the only ones that I can really count on. Uh, the town militia and guardsmen are all guarding their post, so I can't really send them out, especially considering what's going on. Uh, I can give you a list of where the disappearances have happened and about when they happened.
That would be
Uh,
very helpful.
the bats are unusual, but those are just creatures. We can deal with that later, I think.
Okay. Um,
I have a
Above board,
weird.
Mistral does have, out of all those places, the two places that were listed,
Hmm.
Mistral does have a teleport circle to Kashi.
Hmm.
So, above board, if we need to, we can attempt to travel there at some point.
But not to the other one.
I do not have one to Farrington because there was no need, because it's midway between
Between Stormvale.
Stormvale
Yeah,
and
it's pretty close to
Sutton
where y'all normally live.
and
Yeah.
Covington, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
generally a day or two out.
I have a weird above board question for now. What is the likelihood of us being able to potentially find a sending stone here in Noville?
I have several, but they're already paired.
Right. They're
That's
not.
normally
I
what I
mean
use to.
non-paired.
We would have to go and
And I said
purchase
it's
one
above
if
board.
there is one available to purchase with the circumstances.
Yeah, they're quite rare initially. This is something y'all know in general about the island is, while y'all can get some magic stuff, you kind of have to procure it or put in orders for it. And most of it comes from the mainland. So you would really have to look around to see if you could find a shop that may have one, but there's the possibility that you might find one.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't know of any
Mhm.
herself.
Yeah.
I did say above board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Um,
above board Mistral's gonna be hoping that she can get more teleportation circle supplies, but it will depend because how much of it's coming from the mainland for the rare toxinings. So, yeah.
because I was gonna say it would be a good idea if we could find a sending stone, a paired, to have one with her and one with us while we're doing
Right. For
explorations.
us to keep contact, right?
Yeah.
Does she have anyone that could borrow the pair from another person that's accessible?
Uh, she mentions that the one she has, and she kind of waves her hand towards the wooden box, and she opens it and shows you her sending stones. She has 7 or 8 of them. One of them is currently missing or not in it, but it is laying on her desk. And she says, "These are really all I have. It's what I use to contact my couriers, and the adjoining twin to it is with my couriers, so I don't have any that could work for that."
She doesn't have any full pairs on her person.
Yes.
I mean, is there any person that is contactable that we can possibly borrow from if we find them?
I can definitely look into that, but I'll have to get back to you after I check around for things.
Well, we'll check the city then and see if there happens to be a pair. If not, I do have the ability to sending if worse
Right, it would
comes to
just be
worst.
limited.
Yep.
Limited use.
Yeah. And she mentions the reports and letters of the missing children. It's been both girls and boys, all of them under the age of 13. And she
Mm.
can give you more specifics
Interesting.
about where they were, or she can give you the letters if you'd rather have the letters.
I mean, I'd kind of like both, but
Okay. The letters, I'll give you the summary of them just like the summary of the letters. I
hmm
don't actually have an image to give to you directly.
yeah, that's fine.
2 children have gone missing in Coveton, a boy and a girl, brother and sister. They actually disappeared out of their home when other family was around, and nobody heard or saw anything. A young girl went missing in Sutton. Novell itself has had a little boy to go missing. He was actually went missing out on the street when he was shopping with his parents, going through a market stall section. And his father says that one minute he was with him holding his hand, and then he didn't feel his hand there anymore. He turned around, looked for him, and they spent an hour looking and could not find him.
So literally just
He said
vanish into thin air.
he said his hand felt extremely cold right when it happened. One moment, my
This
mother
is
is calling.
concerning.
It's fine, gives me a time to write all this down.
Yeah, I would say that's not the best.
Yeah, that concerns me that they have were basically gone from one moment to the next with no visible sign.
Above board, would we have had or paired sending stones?
Did you buy any?
Maybe in like the tower, would we have had
I
some?
don't believe I bought any specifically, but
I don't think I did that.
Again, this might be one of those things to write in and go back, trade your money in for, and say that you had some stored at the tower. If this is something that you think you should have had to start with, but you didn't think at the time of character creation to get it.
I'm
So
just
that's
wondering
what
if we would
tower
have.
storage is for right now. You don't have it on you right
Mhm.
now, but
But
it's
it might be in
possible
the
that you
storeroom at the
bought it.
tower if we spend the money, yeah.
Yeah. I
So
won't let you do that for everything, but
what would the
small things
monetary
like that.
cost be for that?
Let's go 1,000 gold for a pair for your all starting funds.
All right. I will go ahead and make that exchange.
Okay, so again, those are at the tower. So if you want to get them, you'll have to go back and get them.
Lily,
Okay.
why don't you do 500? I could do 500.
Okay, that's fine.
That's just for one pair.
Yep.
Yeah, just the one pair.
Okay.
I don't think we would have necessarily thought to have multiple pairs, especially if they're that as rare as you're saying. So
I think maybe we just would have had one in case the party split and we wanted to maintain contact.
Well, I mean, finding stuff on the island, considering it is an isolated, pretty much continent type area, you wouldn't find a lot of things here. So just about all the magic items that you would have had on hand have been imported from somewhere else, or the few that have actually been found here. So magic items are not easy to come by at the current moment, since contact with the outside world has been lost. But some things you may have already had previously. Y'all are 10th level, you've been adventuring for a while. Sending stones is something that, now that you think about it, you probably should have had. So I'm fine with that being something that you did have.
okay.
Just not
Does
on
that make
us.
sense? Right. You just didn't think to bring them with you
All right,
because
so we
everybody was
have.
together.
All right, so back to missing kids. We got the brother sister pair in Coveton, young girl in Sutton, the little boy in Novale who went missing in the middle of the street.
Hmm.
And his dad said his
Um,
hand felt cold.
And his dad said his hand felt cold. That was holding onto the boy's hand. Turned around and he was gone.
And
Were
the
there?
oldest
Mhm.
the oldest disappearance has been from Oakville. One of the elven children there were out practicing their marksmanship in the woods. They got a message from this child. Their parent did. This child saying, "I think I'm being followed." And then nothing after that. The message came in off of a squirrel.
Okay, that's creepy.
And that's not normal for there, because the druids and everything, that is their home. They know those woods, they know what's in the woods, and a child going missing and not able to be found is not normal. Even the trees couldn't tell them where the child had gone.
And on these occasions, you mentioned for a few of them that they were in the room with the children when they went missing, or was there a visual of any of these children going missing?
The brother and sister were in the house, but they were in bed, so they weren't actually with their parents.
Yeah, I know the
The
little boy
window,
was behind him.
yeah, that's the one that was the closest, and he said his hand felt cold after his boy's hand disappeared from his.
Okay. So no one had eyes on it.
No one had direct eyes at the very moment it occurred.
Okay.
Just poof.
Yeah, nobody who was in the market at the time that was questioned remembered seeing the boy disappearing or anyone grabbing the boy and taking them away.
And when were these disappearances? Were they all fairly close together in time frame? Were they scattered?
It's been within the last week. The
Okay.
oldest one were the two children in Covington, and the most recent one was the one in Novell.
And this was all prior to the fog coming in.
She just got the messages today, and yes, the couriers were sent with those messages prior to the fog
Okay.
having started.
So before the fog. Before the light, before the fog.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
And
definitely
you mentioned
fishy.
And you mentioned bats. Were those out a specific time frame as well?
Uh, based on what the last notice of contact I had with the novice cleric that Wigglefern left in charge over at Kashi, uh, the he bats have not been in that area of the island as far as we can remember. They're everywhere else, but something has kept them out of that area, the northwest of the island beyond the giant spine. And it was alarming enough that whenever I contacted uh, that area, that he thought it pertinent to mention to me that the bats just suddenly started showing up. So that's been within the last week as well.
Okay. So potentially looking at the same time frame.
Yes.
It's a little fishy that a bunch of contacts, bunch of adventurers
A
have
bunch of
been
people were called
pulled
away just before this,
were
yes.
pulled from the
Mhm.
island too.
Yeah, it's
There was an attempt to pull us away.
Yeah, there was. We found a
The letter didn't
letter.
make it to us, but there was a letter directing us to leave as well.
Yeah, we found
she
it in the
kind of
mud.
looks relieved at that, and normally, like I said, she looks a little bit disheveled and bothered at the moment, but a wave of relief washes over her, and she says, "For as good as my carriers are, I can honestly say this is one time I'm glad that issues happen." And what happened to your letter? Uh, did you not receive it? Where did you find it? Was it delivered? She's kind of gone into business mode, trying to troubleshoot
We
why the
said that
letter wasn't
we'd
delivered.
found it in the mud outside the tower, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the mud
Yeah.
on our way
in the
back to the
rut of the
tower.
road.
So we'll convey that.
Okay. She pulls out that little paper note again and writes a little bit more down on it. And she says, "Thank you very much. I will have a
Have
word with that courier."
Have you been in contact with that carrier that was supposed to have delivered?
Yes, that's actually the courier that brought word from Sutton about the disappearance.
Okay, so he's not one of the ones that have gone no contact. Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
had the same thought for a second. Maybe he vanished. But
no.
yeah. How old are your carriers typically?
20 to 30s, so that they can
Okay.
run fast, they can ride well. They're not going to keel over and die in the process of jogging for a day or two.
Okay, so there are no
No
young
children.
hands that may be part of your extended network that help carry
Could you
things back and forth on an informal manner.
could you imagine trying to get a young person to deliver mail?
Maybe
She
not
she just kind
male,
of
but
says this and deliver mail, carry a package, ride a horse, or even keep their mind on one goal for more than a day.
I
I
mean,
can
doesn't
only
doesn't have to be
imagine.
more from a day, and you'd be surprised how much attention you could garner from a child with a well-placed sweet or
Yeah, so she lets out a little laugh, and then she motions back to the letters and picks them up and offers them to you. These are the missing, and reading over them, it's pretty much as she said. It's just notice of missing that seemed very odd or awkward. There were no ransoms that were demanded. The children just went missing. There was no sign that
and there's
foul play
no
had been involved. There was no blood or
no
anything like that.
connection between these children other than the age ranges,
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
I have a
Yeah.
random question. Did
Uh-huh.
anybody remember seeing the kids before they disappeared?
The parents had laid their two to bed down south. The man again was with his son walking uh, in the shops when
So
that
no
boy
weird
disappeared.
memory warpiness. Okay.
No, outside of people just don't normally pay attention, which would explain why nobody really paid attention to the little boy with his dad other than the dad themselves, because,
I'm very curious as to if it's possibly more widespread than we're seeing, especially if you've lost contact with several cities.
she nods her head and says that's one of the things I'm afraid of too. But at the moment, and she kind of points down at the floor, as you can tell from downstairs, there's so much going on. It's possible that the letters might already be here or not. I can definitely look into it and try and figure things out, but just today is when I started putting two and two together.
Yes, if you could keep an eye out for any more incoming reports as you process through those, anything that could help us find a link between these children, any commonality at all.
Yeah, well, the only thing so far that really stands out is the man saying that his child's hand, when
Hand was
it
cold. Yeah.
left, his hand got very cold, and then his boy was gone. There were no footprints, no sign of struggle, none of the letters mentioned anything like that, or even forced entry into the child's bedroom that went missing. The window was latched, and there was no evidence that anything weird had gone on there.
Okay.
And she says, I don't believe in coincidences like this. Someone or something has to be orchestrating this. Question is
Yes.
why, or to what end? And with everybody gone, that only leaves us with pretty much a single option. And she kind of opens her hands up and waves outward, just gently motioning, says, I hate to ask, but can you assist us with this?
We'll find them.
I can give you my full support since everything is going to hell at the moment. I don't have much as far as the ways of resources for you, but I can see about getting you chalk for your teleportation circles,
That would
as
be
we
very
often
helpful.
tend to use that. And she goes back, excuse me, behind her desk and opens a drawer. And she pulls out what appears to be a little pamphlet of 5 vellum pages that are just blank, that are attached together with what appears to be a straw string binding. And she offers them out. She just kind of holds them over her desk, not to anyone in general, but she is offering them out.
Are
What is it?
they?
And she says, This is what I normally use to get news from the mainland.
Okay.
This is my own personal item that my husband got from back in his adventuring days, and this is one of the ways that has helped me make sure that the Couriers Guild and the news gets out where it is. You can use this, and it will show you any specific writings if you name it, or it'll let you make a copy of something if you can't quite read it well, like it's been destroyed. But you can
Immediately
use
thinking about the
this.
book.
Yeah, same. That sounds
Mm-hmm.
Mistral
very
will glance at the group,
good.
particularly at Bannock, and if no one makes a move, we'll take it.
And if
Uh,
it can make a copy, it might be a good idea to leave a copy with
Yes,
Elspeth
I do think
eventually.
it would be good to make a copy of our transcription for Elsbeth to keep.
it's not permanent. This is a magic item.
Okay.
It wears away after 24 hours. And she says, if you would, though, please keep one page blank, and I will write if there's an update. And for that update, I will name it the update for today's date.
Oh, so
Okay.
basically a method of communication between us.
Yes.
So you can at least get updates, she says.
So like kind of like paired scrolls, but not paired scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
Are we able to send with that, or is it just receiving?
It is just making a copy itself. You can only receive text and notes. It doesn't do images.
Okay.
So who's going to take the item?
Mistral was gonna
say
take it
Mistral, yeah.
if Bannock wasn't. Yeah, she was gonna.
Mistral Bannock would be the perfect ones for that.
You can take it.
Mistral,
Okay.
if I remember correctly, don't we have a set of sending stones at
We
the tower?
do. I believe I came across them a few weeks ago when I was doing cleaning in the tower in the
You th-
storeroom. It should
you
still be there. We should be able to dig them out.
you think it would be worth going back to grab them
I do.
for better communication?
We're gonna use a teleport just to go get sending stones.
Well, if we're going on a massive trip, we might want to actually dig through the keep and
We'll
see what we
want
need.
them later. I don't think we need them right this moment. But I do think before we traipse too far, we'll want to grab them.
Okay.
Plus, we might need to actually grab stuff from the keep.
But I do think we don't want to necessarily do that right this moment.
Well, considering how useful they are, would they have just been in your bag or something?
Well,
Probably
that was
not. We're
the
always
the deal
together.
was we had, if we make a purchase like that, it has to be in the tower storeroom. We have to go back and get it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's not something currently on you and it's something that I say, yeah,
Gotcha.
thinking about it now, you probably would have thought to have. Because when you're creating the characters, it's really hard to think of everything you would
Everything
have
you'll need.
gained from level 1 to 10. You know, there's a lot of stuff that can go on there.
Well, and if we decide to go and investigate Farrington at any point, it would make sense to leave from the tower.
Yep.
So at that point, it would make sense to teleport home and then just take the day or two's travel out to Farrington. You know, or however many days it is.
And then
And she
whenever we
does
can,
suggest
pop back into Novale.
she does suggest possibly starting with Farrington as well, as that's where the two children have
The
disappeared from,
oldest.
and
The
it's the
oldest
oldest,
case, right?
so that would be the one that's most likely to lose evidence or a trail first.
Mm-hmm.
If you would fire on your character, please search for a magic item. It's an artifact called the Archivist Notes.
Okay. Have it. Yes.
Alrighty, add that to your character sheet and you can view the details of it there.
All right. Done.
I'll keep sending as a spell, and I'll let Elspeth know that if we come across anything really important, I'll communicate to her. Because
Mm-hmm.
does anybody else of us have sending?
There's only a couple classes that can even learn sending. Uh,
Neon,
I
you don't have.
it.
Okay.
No.
sorcerers. I don't believe sorcerers learn sending.
Yeah, I don't.
Well,
I
he was
don't-
responding to it, but yes.
Yes.
I'll tell Elsbeth I'll keep it handy on me, like accessible. And if we
Okay.
find anything for now, I'll reach out.
Yeah. Bard, clerics, and wizards, it looks like, for the most part. She also says something out there wants us vulnerable. And based on the situation as it stands, it's already won the first round. So if you can, try and keep it discreet. Whatever's going on may still be watching or may be expecting us to start looking into this. So just
Something
be careful
definitely
out
wants
there.
us trapped.
She nods her head in agreement with that and says, definitely. There's no contact out to the mainland. I can't contact the naval out doing their training. It seems like it's just us.
Out of character, out of um with the whole prophecy of the fog and the wall, didn't we wasn't there something about it being dangerous to try and venture close?
There's
I
something
th-
immediately beyond it that's hungry. I remember that much.
So I'd try to tell her, and maybe spread the word to have people not go near the fog. We don't exactly know how dangerous it is.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, 'cause
And
I have the notes in our document, our travel compendium.
while you all are looking into things, if you spy one of my couriers and you need to get word back to me, I will inform them all that you have priority messaging. I mean, if I'm going to put so much of the world on you, I've got to be able to help out as much as I can.
That would be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we do have Wade on his way here to meet us. So if there's anything that an extra ship can do in the meantime.
Oh, that would definitely be appreciated. I know most of them were out fishing and things, but luckily, as most of our stuff, all of our fishing and everything else tends to be pretty close to the island, it's made our lives pretty well that we can keep fed, and it also means that most of them were near the island. So we seem to have a lot of ships. It's just getting around and out that's the issue. It takes a long time to travel.
How long do you think before we start seeing an issue in the markets with the access to the mainland cut off?
Uh, unless somebody else has been talking uh, absolutely and constantly with the mainland, I would say the general populace doesn't exactly know. Uh, I've told the head merchant over at Sutton about it. I would say any other place inland probably doesn't know, but it'll only be a week or two, especially since everybody started panicking after the blue wave came through and people started panic buying.
Mhm.
It may be a week, it may be 2 weeks. It just depends on how calm things stay.
Stormvale was definitely in chaos when we made it down there.
Yes. Well, they had many, many, many fishermen out at the
Yeah,
time as well.
and scouting and looking too. And you all told them not to go too close to the fog then.
Yes, we've also warned them about the fog. They did some investigation of their own, but we cautioned them to not get too close.
Yeah. So, given things as they stand, uh, I would give us maybe a month at the most before we start seeing people really taking note and suffering of things that aren't in stock anymore that normally didn't have an issue of. We get our shipments in from the mainland, every few weeks or so, so it wouldn't be unusual for things to, especially things with short shelf lives to be pretty rare in between. But when normal things start to become scarce, it's really going to kick in, and I'm afraid that may cause its own panic too. But that's something that I'll worry about dealing with.
Okay. I was more trying to figure out, okay, what's our timeline on well, above on acquiring some of the rare stuff before the panic buying is in full force. Um
Yep. Probably a month. If you
okay.
want anything specific that is
Hunt it
likely
down now.
scarce,
Yep,
yeah,
find it now.
yeah, because people will eventually start taking note of, wait, you know, this thing isn't being sold as
Restocked,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. The help that you provided is very useful. I do believe we will take on this task. We will see what we can do about these missing children as soon as possible. But I believe we need the day to restock and supply ourselves with what we can here in the city.
Okay, hearing your words and you all kind of agreeing to this, she seems visibly relieved and says, thank you so much for your assistance.
You
I'm
can
sorry to
breathe,
call you on such
Elspeth.
short notice. It's been so overwhelming.
Just remember to breathe, please.
She
Not
takes a
doing
deep
so
breath
isn't
at your
healthy.
reminder to do so.
Uh,
And she says, if you just go out the door and turn right, the next room over is our storage for various things for our couriers. Let them know I said to give you every extra piece of chalk we have for your teleportation circle.
Thank you very
I'm not
much.
sure how many we have, but you're free to take whatever you need,
All right.
what we can give.
Thank you.
So Mistral will make her way out of the room.
Okay, she sits back down behind her desk and immediately starts opening other letters and going through and reading. And it doesn't take but maybe 1 or 2 minutes before she is completely back engrossed in her job.
Before I leave, I will say to Elsbeth, if you hear about any more missing, please let us know.
I certainly will definitely keep at least one page free. Again, I will name that, and she gives you a specific name so you know how to activate so that it can copy her note. So if anything happens, uh, you will be able to get that update without having to go through carriers or sending or anything else. It's only one way, but she will definitely keep important stuff and have it ready for you as soon as she can every day.
Sounds good.
And Mistral
Try
will
to
know the full effects of the
how to work the
sheet.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep, I have the archivist notes in my inventory right now for that.
Yeah. So it should have all the information there about it. Pretty much you can copy a page that you have by laying it on it and saying the keyword.
Command phrase, yep.
Do you see the command phrase?
I do.
I like that command phrase.
I'll just wave at her and
Can
say,
you
try
share it
to
with the
have a good
class?
day.
The command phrase is Xerox.
Literally copy.
Except it's
What?
not spelled like Xerox.
Xerox?
Oh.
What is
Wow.
that strange land I've never heard of?
Yeah, that's the keyword for copying the page.
I
that
did
you
display it
lit on.
in Virtual Tabletop, so you can scroll up to the top of the description and read it. But yes, it's there.
We should use the generic term. Photocopy.
Yep, Xerox. Zeeraaks.
Yes.
I had to.
Let that be a lesson to you all. Do not let your brand name become generic.
Happens with crayon.
And Kleenex.
Yep.
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 So the first ability of it is you can copy a page by laying it on top of it, and it
Which
makes
creates
a
an
perfect
undamaged
copy.
one. Yep.
Right. If it's damaged, been worn away, it will copy it. It won't copy images like art and stuff unless it's specifically a word or
Right.
associated
Wait,
with
so
the
then
word.
how does it work that we get notes from her?
It has two
That's the
abilities.
second thing, the named recall.
Yeah.
If we
Oh,
know the
okay.
exact true name of a written work, even if it's been destroyed, you can pull a copy of it onto the sheet. It
So
can't be
she
longer than a single sheet, though, so it's going to be fairly brief notes that we're going to get. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, we'd just get a random excerpt.
So I'm guessing she's told us what she's going to name the page.
Yes, she
Yeah.
did.
And we
She said it
just-
was going to be update from and then the date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we will add her name to it so it's specifically hers. That way it's not confused with anything else. Pretty much you all have the ability to specifically get her update notes for you
Yes.
all.
Yep. Okie dokie.
Yeah, so basically she's going to title her page every time she does this, and we just have to speak the title.
Yep, and it'll be that day's notes pretty much. So
Yeah.
y'all will be good. If there's a note and it exists, then it will show up on the page. If there isn't one and you recall it, the page just isn't used. It just doesn't make a copy and it's still usable, for any other purpose.
This
Right,
And
lady
you
is
said it
doing
resets
the
after 24 hours, right?
Yes, correct.
Right.
yeah. This lady's doing the equivalent of opening a Word document and typing into it and just giving us all access.
Yeah,
It's
Google
Google.
document.
It's Google Docs.
It's a view only, but yes. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I think first course of action once we get back to the tower is getting the sending stone and also creating a phantom copy of our damaged book for some of those pages. And then copying them onto mundane paper so that they last after the 24 hours.
Yep.
That way you can get the full reading for anything that might have been damaged. If you know
Yeah,
specific things that you're after.
I would be very,
Can
very,
you
very
copy it
happy to
twice
get the
over?
full reading for the
Can you
ritual to undo the fog.
Could you
That was
copy it
unreadable.
twice over to leave a copy with Elspeth?
I mean,
Which-
yeah, once we have a mundane copy, we can copy that mundane copy as many times as we want, just by hand.
Yeah.
We just need one phantom copy initially of each of those sections so that it is undamaged and legible.
And readable, yeah.
That,
By the
that
way,
would be
should
what
we have
legible means.
mentioned the drawings on the wall to her?
We did not even mention going to the southwest to her. So,
Nope.
Okay.
one problem at a time. I didn't want to give her more right now until
More to
we
worry
know
about.
more. She's got enough on her plate right now.
So should we run around town, see what's available, what we might need?
Yes, I think we need to take time to resupply while we're in town.
I need to buy some incense.
Yeah.
Yep. If you
But
can tell
first,
me.
let's step next door and go to the storeroom and get that chalk.
So you tell the person that she sent you over there for the chalk, and they give you enough for 7 castings of it.
Oh, nice. Let me just update my
They,
amounts there.
they had more in the box, but they say, this is what we also need to transport
Right.
packages and stuff, and it's kind of important, so we can't give them all, but this is definitely what we have free.
Whatever can be spared.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's still very useful because that just doubled our teleportation circle uses. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because we had about 5 uses left out of what I had bought before game. I had enough
Can
for
we
6
just-
uses when we started.
Can we just find one of those magical chalks that our littles have?
That seems like a custom magical item that we'd have to order. I don't know that we could get that on the
It
island
also
right
only
now.
has 2 specific circles associated with
Right, you can't do any circle with it. It's got circles tied to it.
What were the circles that were tied to it again?
We don't know.
it. I will be back in a moment. My mother needs me to head over and unload her. It shouldn't take me long. I will be right back.
Okie
Naya
dokie.
doesn't know what circles they are.
All right, so I need
And we don't know above
Yep.
board?
incense for divination.
No, we don't know above board either.
I need diamonds.
Yeah, so
This
Need
is a good
diamonds.
moment for me to find that list of things I made.
Anything else we might want?
well, we're
Look
looking
for a sending
for-
stone in case
You can
there
look
is
for
one
additional sending stones if you want to. Otherwise, considering that resources are going to become scarce, we have access to Goodberry, but things in that vein
here. Healing potions.
that might be useful. Yeah, potions, things to handle resource scarcity, such as like not having enough water, not having enough food.
I thought we had endless decanters though.
Yes, which again, we may be fine on a few of these things. But I know we had the endless decanters in the last campaign. I don't think we have them here.
I have one in my inventory.
Okay. I don't think everyone has one.
I bought an endless decanter then, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think we didn't start with those. That would have been something that you chose to
Right.
buy.
I bought one, so at least we
So
know
not
I'm
all
good
of us
with
have
water.
But like just anything in that vein that might be harder to get if we have a way to create it. So for some of us, if magical parchment's going to become a problem, if ritual paper is going to become a problem, the means to craft those, for instance, would be things to look for.
Food.
Yeah, food. So anything along the veins of Goodberry or beads of nourishment would be good to stock up on. I have a bead of nourishment in my inventory, but I'm not sure if that was meant to be a jar of them or just one bead. So, Because also consider if we decide to be philanthropic on our journey, when there is scarcity, if we are still doing this when the shortages hit, we might be able to help other people too.
Yep.
If we are so inclined for acts of charity. Which some of us may or may not be. But options. But yeah, spell components are a big one right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd want to.
I need
get
to
that
replace diamonds.
and go to a magic shop, see what they have that might be useful for us.
Do we even have a magic shop on the island?
Well, Novale is the center of communication, so there's a potential that there would be a magical item shop here. It's one of the larger cities. We have a better odds here than we did in Stormvale for sure. Because Novale and Sutton are essentially the capitals.
Is there any item or spell that could be useful in helping us find the children?
Locate object or locate creature.
Locate person?
Any kind of scrying spell.
Yeah, but with scrying, don't you need an item from the person?
No, it just makes the DC lower. Just makes it easier. You could technically scry on anybody as long as you know their name.
Feet.
Or you can attempt to anyway. Yeah, locate object will be specifically if we know that they have something on them or had something on them when they vanished.
Mm-hmm. Also within 1,000 feet. So
yeah, that would be once you've narrowed down an area.
Yeah,
I already have my crystal ball for scrying.
Yeah, scrying. For those of you who have deities that may so be inclined, methods of communion with those deities.
Yeah, divination is what I need the incense for, so that should help.
Yeah, divination or commune or any of that kind of stuff.
I don't have scrying. And divination.
And I already have the reliquaries for summon
I'm gonna want to
Celestial.
pick up some lesser quality diamonds as well, I think.
Specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. So I could ask, where could we find the children, the missing children?
Mm-hmm.
I will get a truthful reply, which might be a short phrase or cryptic rhyme.
Yeah, I know some of the spells are specifically yes, no. Some of them are anything, but you might get a cryptic answer back.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are you just get a feeling back. It just depends on which one.
It is a truthful reply, which is good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
My only consumable components that I'm gonna have to deal with are gonna be 50 gold piece diamonds for chromatic orb, and then the chalks and the inks for transport. Those are my only consumable
I think
spells.
I'm gonna get like 4 or 5 things of incense for it.
Okay.
Because they're 25 gold a piece.
I think it's technically I need diamond dust, is what I need.
Well, and most jewelers will powder gems for you, so if we can't find dust specifically, we can get them to powder some diamonds.
Because I need to replace what I did for...
Or if anybody has access to a transmute spell, you can transmute your diamonds into dust.
I don't believe I do.
Because it was... Lesser Restoration, right? That took the diamond dust?
For the dust? Probably. Because I believe you need actual diamonds for Revivify and such.
Which I do have.
Right.
Or was it the Greater Restoration?
I mean, if you look at your
was
spell and
greater.
you look at the components,
Yeah,
it'll tell you.
Greater.
Yeah, the diamond dust worth 100 gold. Yeah, it was the greater registration that I was using. I need to replace some
which
of
we
my.
need for Cole since it seemed to work the first time and you want to repeat it.
Except I
he's gonna
forgot the
take
fact that I have remove curse.
Oh, well, there you go.
Remove
just
curse
need to
does it
actually
without
have it
the
prepared.
diamonds.
And what is remove curse's component cost? What is the cost associated
It's
with
like a
that?
second
I don't
level
currently
spell.
have it prepared. Was my problem.
So it's not ready. Okay.
Remove curse is verbal and somatic.
Okay, so there is no used component that is consumed.
Yep, and it
Yep.
removes all curses on the creature.
So
Very
that
good.
is my goal after sleeping.
Assuming
is
it is in
Nice.
fact a curse in play and we know that, then that's great.
well, I'm going to try it before attempting some more diamond dust. Is
Yeah,
my
makes
thought.
sense. It's a 3rd level spell, not a 2nd. But yeah. I just looked it up. Either way, it's still within your ability once you've rested on it.
Need a user. Yes, we mind.
Yes, very much so.
Oh, I'm so very sorry about that. Her roommate isn't home, so I had to go and load her wheelchair.
That's
Oh,
just
good.
fine. We were
You
just
are
taking advantage
okay.
of the time to discuss on what we're getting on our shopping trip.
Alrighty.
We're looking for, so.
And I'm just cutting labels.
Whew.
All right,
Sorry
so
about me
we've
being out of breath.
Yep, you're good. So we've collected the chalks and we will go ahead and make our way out into the town
Alrighty.
to the markets. I believe we are looking specifically for gemstones or magic shops or jewelers, anything along those lines to start with.
Diamond dust and
Okay.
magic shop for me.
You can find pretty easily, considering Novell is the main point for transport. Most of the
Incense
trade goods tend to be shipped over to Sutton, where
Mhm.
they have a much bigger marketplace, but you can find some things around here. So what are you looking for specifically?
I
Me,
need
diamond dust, and
incense.
magic
Fence,
shop.
fence.
Okay, one at a time.
Sorry.
Meteor.
I need incense worth at least 25 gold each.
Okay, you can easily find that at an apothecary.
I'd like to buy 5 sticks of it.
Perfectly doable.
Okay. 125.
Is there anything else that we would want at the apothecary? Any herbs or things for potion components or look for potions themselves? I know that was mentioned
Healing
by a
potions
couple folks while you
potentially,
were away.
or would that be a magic shop or magic shop?
They do have 2 normal healing potions, but the majority of what they have here is things like things for headache,
Yeah,
or
non-magical tinctures and salves
yeah.
for the most part.
Did we grab the healing potions for shits and giggles?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. I also wouldn't mind picking up some of
Maybe
the
just the giggles.
non-magical remedies just to have in case we have another blip.
Mihan,
Okay.
what if I don't want just the giggles?
Well, then you want the shits too, right?
That is a problem for you, and I will let you deal with that.
Okay.
Okay, as far as finding diamond dust itself seems to be a lot more common than uncut diamonds, as people can take the shavings and the broken off pieces of cut diamonds and easily grind it into diamond dust. You can actually find about 100 gold pieces worth of diamond dust here at the apothecary, as it's one of the things that can be used for medicinal purposes.
I would like to take the 100 gold diamond dust.
Okay. If you would like to look for more, I will need you to roll.
Let me quickly remove that from my inventory.
I
Okay.
would like to help look for more diamond dust in the shop.
This
What am I rolling?
they just sold you all that they had.
Okay. So this would just be looking elsewhere in town for it.
Yeah.
What
this
am
will
I
be looking
rolling?
for other. I need you to roll a d100, please.
Guessing
And
a
I
15
need.
is not good.
Yeah, you don't know. Depends on what scale.
Well, I will give you +5 if anyone in your party wants to roll a d10 plus their perception. But only one person can help, so you can't get multiple pluses.
Who
I
has
have
the
a
best
plus
perception?
5.
I
have a
plus
+5.
7.
Oh, nice. There you go,
Mhm.
Cole.
Okay, so
I'll
roll
do
it and see
it.
if you get 10 or better.
So 1d10.
Just roll a 3 or higher.
9 plus 7. So 16.
Okay, so let's see what you get. Unfortunately, you're not able to find any other places that have diamond dust.
Ah.
Okay, at least I replenished one.
Yeah.
In town, for shits and giggles, can we find a pair of sending stones?
I need you to roll again.
While we're looking for that,
Yeah, definitely not getting good.
Yeah, we have more stuff on our list while we're doing that.
Would you
Is
like
there-
to try and help for this one, Cole?
sure.
Oh,
I'm
I
looking
did not
for
see it.
that's a 1.
Meteor.
Yep. Yes.
You're rolling a d20
Oh, you
plus
said
it.
1d10.
No, your
You said
goal is a
D20.
10.
You said D10 earlier, Barry.
You said
did.
Oh,
D10.
okay. I apologize. Roll a d20, add your perception, make a perception
Well,
check,
then
and if it's 10
that
or
was the
better, you're
first
helping
one.
out.
That's for the second one.
Okay. So the first one wasn't enough. So you did get enough to help out for the second one. I mean, you did help out for the first one too. So let's see what the roll is. I apologize. 27 is not less than 10, so you're not able to find any sending stones either.
I would like to
Um,
look for some small, low quality diamonds, so 50 gold piece diamonds.
Da-da-da. I'm trying to
Nothing
think.
super fancy, just the ones you would find on like old rings and such.
Yeah. Because this is a place for trade, you probably can find those.
Cool.
So if you would
I'd
roll
like
a
to acquire a few of those if I
D100
can.
for me. Would you like to help, Cole?
sure. 13.
Darn. 47 is unfortunately not less than 42. Why is everybody rolling so low on the D100s? It should average to about 50. Jeesh.
Nope. Were
Can
there
I-
any at all, or just no?
You weren't able to find any that are currently available. Normally, you would find them on shipments
Okay.
coming in because they are uncut. So they would be sent to jewelers or blacksmiths, stuff like that, to adorn things.
Okay. So,
But you're
so
not able
note
to
to
find
self: don't
anybody
use
that's selling
chromatic
any
orb.
wholesale.
Okay. So can't
Um,
do chromatic orb. That's fine.
Can I find a place to sell my huge snake skin?
That you probably can.
Yeah. How much can I get for that?
Can you? It's from the not a boa constrictor from
Yeah.
It was from
underground, right?
the
The special
what was
snake.
A
Yeah.
whatever
The-
snake.
Yeah.
Amphisbaena constrictor snake.
Yeah, you can get
And I
20
believe
gold
I
for
nat
it.
20'd getting the skin off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it off pristine. Yeah, you can get 20 gold for it.
20 gold? Sweet. That's great, actually.
Yeah, as you're looking around for the diamond stuff, the person does recommend heading over to Sutton, as that's where you're more likely to find
Mm.
things for sale. Normally, things here that would be sold are sold to traders or people wanting to, do business with them as opposed to buying them directly. So it's much harder to find trade goods here, especially unprocessed trade goods for sale.
Okay. Other thing is, I wanted to pick up a few of the the non-magical medicinal salves, like the antibiotics and stuff like that.
Okay, certainly can. There are sorry, not anti. Is it an
Antibiotics
anti-poison?
and anti-venoms.
Yeah, anti-venoms. That's the
I,
word.
I would go for both.
Yeah. So there are plenty there to buy. They're not really as limited as the potions were. And as you're buying them, the person is making mental note and saying it out loud. Okay, I need to make sure and collect some more of those and some more of those, and kind of takes a note of what she's selling you.
Yep.
Oh,
That-
Mistral, I give you
Mhm.
your eyes of minute seeing back.
Okay. I will put them back in the bag if you're done with them. I can't attune to them right now anyway. Or I
Are they
can't
attuned?
use them right now anyway.
Yeah, I don't think they're
Immediately.
attuned.
Like, I don't need them right now.
Right. I just noticed I still had them.
Yeah, they're not attuned. I forgot.
Is there just like a general magic shop, Firedale?
There is not here.
Okay.
That would be across in Sutton.
Yeah,
sounds
everything is
like.
pretty specific. Most of the stuff you find here, people looking to sell to the secondary market kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where imports come in, and then they sell them to people that want to sell them.
Okay, doke.
So I'm assuming also I would not find a decanter of endless water.
Probably not
Uh,
here.
Yeah.
Probably not here. That would be something very difficult. If you want to try and roll for it, that's fine, but it's definitely going to be difficult.
I think there
Considering
was
the
a
fact that
custom
I
item
thought I
did in
hadn't
our
bought
campaign.
one, do we really need another?
Only if we wanted to have one in case the party gets split. Otherwise, you could just fill ours from yours.
Yeah.
Our normal water skins from your endless one. So, yep.
So, anything else you would like to try and find?
Nihon, was there anything specific that Vanek needed to acquire?
Mm-hmm.
That you
Oh,
wouldn't
goodness.
have already thought of, but that you're now thinking of for your current goal?
Yep. Oh, I got a whole list full of crap. I got a full list full. I got a list for you. I got a list for you, fools.
Well, let's start telling. Let's work on it.
I will also post it into our chat. Sorry about the burp there. It's my sparkling water. Made this like a month ago, so.
Yeah,
These are
Mistral's
all-
just gonna acquire parchment as well while we're doing that.
Right.
While you're doing that list.
You can find glowworms here in the apothecary. You can definitely find normal makeup.
Yes.
There are several bars around town, so you can definitely find alcohol. You can find pieces of coal.
I feel like
Can't
Bat
find bat
Guano would
fur.
also.
Pieces
I
of
feel like-
me?
Yes.
Pieces
I
of
feel
coal.
like Bat Guano and Bat Fur we could probably get pretty easily going anywhere where they had an outbreak of bats.
Cashy!
Yep,
I think
that
so.
would probably be
Mhm.
easy. In the apothecary, you can definitely find withered vine.
Gum Arabic
Uh,
in there.
You can find some gum arabic.
We
It's
can
nice
stick an eyelash
Play-Doh-y
in it,
thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, none that already has an eyelash in it.
No,
That's not really
that-
sanitary.
no, that's fine. That's okay.
We can bring our own
Any
eyelash.
sulfur?
They do have sulfur here,
Okay.
though not much of it, and it is powdered.
That's fine.
I would also just make a note, Nihon, for a lot of those things because they don't have a monetary value attached.
Right.
Your component pouch or your arcane focus can substitute those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. I'm not used to playing sorcerer. I don't know these things.
That's why I'm mentioning it, just so you don't
Okay.
have to worry about all the little odds and ends. If you
Yeah.
have an functioning arcane focus,
Alright,
It's
it
not
will take
thematic
place.
to make sure you have them,
Yeah.
but in general, by having your little component pouch,
Uh-huh.
it's
Yeah, like,
assumed that
I
you have
purchased-
those.
Right.
But
It's
you
the
top up
costly
on all
ones
your
that you
shit.
have to worry about.
Yeah, I have both
Right.
an arcane focus and a component pouch that I purchased ahead of time, so
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I should have one. I believe.
So can y'all think of anything else that you want to look for here in town?
Let's go ahead and get ourselves like some cloaks or something just to have. We're gonna be traveling in and out. We may want an extra change of clothing or outer layer or something.
Right.
Yeah, so that's something I would say that you probably have back at your tower.
Oh, okay.
Again,
So
you all
I-
have been adventuring for a while, so you would have adventuring gear.
Okay.
Yep.
Any preserved jerkies or anything in town?
Definitely, you can find plenty of those.
Get a few of those too.
Okay,
Pocket
so
bacon.
that
Do you
is
think we might have? Do you think we might have any alcohol back at the tower as well?
Yes.
yeah, a copper for
Yes.
each jerky. Feel free to buy as much as you want to.
We absolutely have alcohol back at the tower. I'm gonna claim that right
Mistral
now.
probably has the good shit hiding somewhere.
Well, and especially because Bannock and Mistral are used to high circles, we definitely have good alcohol.
Bannock just was like
They've
looking
got the
around,
good stuff.
picking up things, from the apothecary. He just turns to Mistral. It's like Mistral, the good shit.
All right.
So yeah, so most of that stuff you will probably have back at the tower. But if you're looking for costly things that you wouldn't have already bought because you're now preparing for this thing, that's
Mhm.
the stuff that we really got to worry about right now.
I can't think of anything right now.
Alrighty. So y'all make away with your finds from the markets and stalls. So where to next? What will you do?
Well, one
What
of the
time is it?
disappearances was here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
We
we can
could
go talk to that
go with that.
person. One of
Yeah.
the disappearances was in town, yeah.
What time
The
is
most recent one was here.
You all got here pretty early because you had gotten back from down. Y'all were on the boat preparing to come back.
And we jumped straight here instead of waiting for the boat to take us here, so yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
So-
nighttime though when she messaged us?
Yes.
So we haven't
I'm
gotten
trying-
to sleep
trying
yet.
to think of my head when
Yeah,
it
so
would
it
have
should
been.
be evening, shouldn't it?
Why was I thinking early? Oh, because you took a nap specifically, Cole. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah, I took a nap.
I remember you taking a nap.
Someone took a nap, yes.
I
Yep.
did, yes.
Okay.
So
no,
my
it
guess
wasn't
is
early.
find an
It
inn
was
for
later
the
at
night.
night. So it's definitely nighttime at this point, especially after going around and looking
Yeah,
for stuff
if we
shopping.
wanna stay in town for the day, then we can find an inn. Otherwise we can go home. But yes.
Let's find an inn if
Yeah.
we want to talk to someone here. We don't want
Yeah,
to barge in
because
at night.
the little boy vanished from here.
Yes,
Yep.
from somewhere
Let's
here in
do that
town.
then.
And with the report and letter you've got,
Mhm.
it would be easy to find where it is, but it's probably too late at the moment to.
Right, we'd want to visit them in the morning, if anything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
let's go find the nearest tavern and inn.
Okay, there are plenty. It's much easier to find taverns at night for some strange reason.
It's almost like they're all well lit and trying to welcome people in.
Yeah, it's
To
usually
stay
the
the
places
night.
where groups gather. So it's easy enough to find a place to stay for the night. They would
Can we
charge you.
just not gather here in such a dingy place? I mean, there's so many better places.
I mean, we can pick an upper scale inn.
Literally, the Pleasure Emporium is right over there.
I do not want to go there, please and thank you.
Look,
No,
you don't-
we'll go to one of the nicer inns though.
Okay, so a nicer inn would be 5 silver for the lot of you.
Okay.
All right.
Easy. Who's marking that off? Me?
It's whoever wants to pay.
Whoever wants to cover it, yeah. I
Y'all
would
show up as a group.
probably.
They don't care who throws the money on the counter there.
Right.
They'll accept it from anybody.
I would probably suggest that somebody who's comfortable with it, more comfortable than Bannock likely is, also visit one of the lower quality taverns just to kind of hear what is being said. at some point.
The
There are
seedier part
children
of
there.
town.
There are children there. Oh God, it's such a mess.
Yeah,
Go
because
listen
if
for
if
rumors.
kids are going missing, they're likely going to be talking about it in the lower circles rather than the higher circles, depending on where the interest lies.
I mean,
So we want to listen for information everywhere.
hmm
true, but I mean, most people in those higher circles don't care about children unless it's their own,
Exactly,
or someone
want,
who is aggrieved them.
which is why it would be beneficial
I
to
hate
have
those
someone scope out a
conversations.
more lowbrow establishment to
Hate
hear
those
what's being said.
conversations so much. I don't care. I don't care that your child is special. He's normal. He's normal. I do not need to hear you talk and brag about this brat.
Bannock's poor PTSD is kicking in.
Mistral is like biting back a chuckle and is just kind of with her eyes motioning to Cole and Adeline and Aerilyn.
Cole's already walking out the door.
Yep.
Come on,
Okay,
Adeline.
Cole.
So
I
I'll
need
go
you-
to yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll go to one of those less highbrow establishments and
To the seedier part of town where they sell you beer and
The more
you don't know
rough and
what
tumble
kind of
part of
beer it
town,
is.
yeah.
It's beer.
Manic sees you doing that. He's like,
try and troll for
all right,
information.
you do that.
Where they sell you beer flavored water.
Something like that.
hmm
Okay.
They give
Cole.
you ale, but it's more water than ale.
Yep.
It's a mixed
What am
drink.
I
It's
rolling?
just mixed with water. I need you, if you would please, make 3 investigation checks.
Okie doke.
I think I'd be just preparing spells for the next day. In the
Now,
in-room.
Cole, I need to know, are you going to throw any coin around?
Sure.
How much?
Oh.
I will say that Mistral,
Couple
if you had passed by Mistral on your way out, she probably would have slid you 10 gold.
Okay.
Use it as you will.
I'll offer up 3 gold to start. See what that gets me.
Okay, for your first one there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see, that minus that. Okay, you definitely hear some rumors of some children that have gone missing. A lot of them are like people saying, you know, it's gone around word that some of the street urchins have, you know, not been stealing as much or haven't been bringing in their fair share, and some of them haven't shown up or anything. You don't really hear anything specific about the one that you're here for, but you hear about that little tidbit of information.
If I threw in a few more gold, would that loosen any lips on that one?
Okay, well, you actually find somebody who was kind of talking about stuff, and you walk up to them and ask for a little bit more information. They kind of look at your gold, and then they look at you, then they kind of turn their head away and go back to drinking.
Really? Even if I'm like offering 5 gold?
As you go up in number there, let's see, that adds that.
Wondering how much of it is, if they're
They're
talking about the street urchins not stealing more, how much are they considering that you're a street urchin who stole money?
I doubt I look like a street urchin.
I would hope not. However, you are a little bit more wild side than the
Yeah,
rest of the
true.
party.
Can you do me a favor, Cole? I need you to
Mhm.
decide. Because he's going to turn his nose up at you and go back to drinking. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm gonna.
I wonder if telling them Elsbeth has you searching would make any difference.
I don't want to throw around Elsbeth's name.
Yeah, throw around the name. Let them know that you're doing it for her. Let's see how much money they can
Reckless
wring out
attack, reckless attack, reckless attack, reckless attack.
And
I'll
meanwhile,
just-
Mistral's bought fine bottles of wine off of the tavern keeper.
I'll just kind of slam my fist down on the table next to him and be like, "You got a problem with me?"
Yep.
Okay, do me a favor and roll intimidation.
I have a +0. 17, not bad.
I
Oh,
apologize.
got an 18. Are you kidding me?
With
With a
a -1.
+0.
I apologize. We
Oh,
both rolled a
These
17.
rolls are rigged.
Or almost.
Huh.
He kind of does the whole, eyebrow raise at you and bangs his hand down on the table too and says, "Yeah, I got a problem with you. You're making my beer taste bad.
oh,
Go away."
do I get
That's your
into a
first-
brawl right here?
That's your
Cole
first
would not
mistake,
like
Cole.
that.
You tried to give him money instead of more beer. You're supposed to get them drunk so that they tell you shit.
Try to
so-
buy him
so-
something better than beer?
I don't know
Mm,
that he'd
mm, mm.
appreciate it at this point.
He's definitely eyeing you in between big O chugs of his drink, and other people in the
that
bar
beer?
have kind of started looking at you since there's been 2 bangs on the bar now.
You call that beer? How about I
Careful
buy
you don't
some
piss
real
off the
beer?
barkeep.
Some real swill.
I'm listening. The barkeep is too.
Uh, what's the best stuff you got, barkeep?
The barkeep raises an eyebrow, dips down under the bar for a minute, and brings up what appears to be a really kind of not really labeled small tankard or small barrel, I should say, with a spout on it. And they say, "This is. It's expensive though."
What is it?
How expensive?
This is the best dwarven ale that we've got around here. I keep it for special occasions. I'll see you the barrel for 100 gold.
The barrel?
It's a small barrel.
How
It's
big
not a
of
large
barrel?
barrel.
What
How many
size barrel are we
servings can you
talking
get
about?
from the barrel?
Have you ever seen a coffee thing like a Folgers coffee
Is
tin?
it a Keurig amount of dwarven ale?
A Keurig? One
My
cup?
talking about like
Keurig
a
is
coffee
huge,
tin?
thank you.
Yes, it's that size. It's a small barrel
For 100 gold?
for 100 gold.
How many servings do you get out of it?
It depends on how big you make the servings. A normal mug, you would get about 10 mugs out of it.
I'll do it.
Mr. will pay you back.
Okay, you hand over the
Because
gold.
I can use this in the future too, so
Yeah.
Yes.
might help get information down the line.
You hand over the gold. They give you a little hammer, and they
Now you
point
gotta
to the
tap
tap.
the barrel.
Yep, you gotta open it
Oh.
up.
I'll tap it and
Okay.
give me a glass or a mug.
The bartender, he's a big old guy. He kind of spies you for a minute, and he gives you 2 mugs and a cork.
I pour a glass and slide it this guy's way. What'll that
Hey.
get me?
What do you want to know?
You heard about the kid that went missing?
Yeah, it's been going on around here. Been a few that's been going missing. Heard a kid uptown went missing. Had several downtown here that gone missing. It's a really weird thing going on. Some say it's a demon that comes in the night. Others say that it was an angel of death that took them away.
What do you reckon's the real story?
He takes a sip of the beer there, the ale. He coughs and kind of fans his mouth a little bit and catches his breath. He says, "Whew, that's the good stuff." What was the question?
What do you reckon really happened?
I think it's probably just people running away from home, but it's hard to tell. There's too many of them going missing, too many payments not being made. I hear one of the old bosses downtown that is the leader of the runts that run around here, panhandling and pocket picking, that he's been looking for more hires and even checking some of the dang, I've forgotten the word. The homes, home for children.
Orphanage?
Yeah,
Orphanages?
orphanages for new help because so many have gone missing.
So his kids have gone missing too.
So the story goes. That's what I've heard. I don't know though. I don't run with those people. And he gives a wink.
Gives a wink. That means he might run with them.
Who knows? He might be the big boss.
You know where I might be able to find the one who does?
Maybe. And he eyes the barrel.
He eyes the barrel. Oh, do I give him the whole freaking barrel?
Cut your losses, Meteor. No, give up on this guy. I'm not there, but Mistral would be like, nah.
I pour some into the second mug and slide the mug his way.
He kind of looks down at his mug that's still got some in it and then looks at that one. And then he quickly upturns the one mug that was partially drunk to chug it all down at once. Oh, I forgot the slash. And he immediately passes out. His head hits the counter, the mug with the beer in it, and the mug starts to fall to the ground. If you'd like to save it, make a dex save.
A dex save?
Oh no.
The mug falls to the ground and the beer is wasted. You have 8 servings left in your barrel.
Okay.
He couldn't handle the first mug. I definitely wouldn't have poured him the second.
I mean, he had to finish the first mug so he could enjoy the second.
But even so, like the first sip, he couldn't handle it. Clearly a man who can't handle good liquor.
Who else is finding it a little weird that there's more kids missing, but Elsbeth doesn't know about it?
Well, if they're the seedier kids,
If
like
they're
the
kids, if they're street kids, then no one to report them.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. That's why I was poking Elsbeth to ask if she had any kids that were part of her network, because those would have technically been those seedier kids, typically.
So there's another guy that kind of makes his way up and pushes the guy out of the chair. He hiccups, he goes, so I hear you're looking for information. He looks wasted.
What kind of information do you have to give?
Whatever he was giving you.
Mm-hmm. Cut your losses.
Info first, then payment.
I'll hold up the empty glass without letting him see what's in it.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you this if you can tell me where I can find the how do I say the seedy people?
the
street boss or something like
the street
that.
boss, yeah.
Yeah, the urchin leader.
If you know where I can find the
Okay,
Or team
roll a
leader.
bluff check with advantage.
What do I roll for bluff check? Deception?
That would be
Deception,
deception.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. 16.
Huh? He believes you, and he gives you a drunkard's directions of go down to Old Ma's liquor store. It's like 2 streets or 3 streets or 4, and he's about to doze off, but then he kind of catches himself and jerks awake, and he does his best to give you directions there. You're pretty sure you can follow them, but it's up to you if you want to. Then he holds out his hand and takes the mug.
Yep.
He tips it back.
Friend.
He tips it back hard, leaning
Good
his
stuff,
head back
ain't it?
and raising the mug. He falls backwards off the chair and knocks himself out on the ground.
Yep. Hey,
There
barkeep.
was nothing in the mug, but he was way too far gone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
barkeep.
he was completely wasted. Yes.
You know how to get to Old Ma's liquor store?
Yeah, it's down at the corner of so and so.
Thank you. So he said it was go to Old Ma's liquor store, and it's like 2 or 3 streets past.
Yeah, there's an old building down that way where the urchin tend to hang out. He's pretty sure that's where the boss is.
Do you know this building that this drunkard was talking about?
The bartender looks around for a minute, kind of, just looking at people here. Takes a minute, and then everybody kind of stops looking, goes back to drinking. Bartender leans down and says, "That's what I've heard too."
How many streets past Old Ma's is it?
They
Can you
give
give
you
me better
directions to where
directions?
they give you directions where they think it is.
Okay.
I would ask the barkeep what he's heard about the missing kids.
Have you heard the same information as these guys? Or anything
The
different?
barkeep reaches down beneath the counter there and lifts up another small barrel
Mm-hmm. Nope.
and
I'll
says,
take my chances.
"Maybe you're
I already
lost."
bought one.
Huh? After you take a sip, you'll want to buy more. You know where I am. Feel free to come back anytime. Thank you for
Will
your
do.
business.
I leave.
You leave. I'd like you to make a strength check, please.
A strength check?
Uh-huh.
Okie doke.
Is it so he can carry his barrel?
No. Just a straight check, not a saving throw or anything?
Correct. Just a straight strength check. Okay, you
17.
corked the barrel just fine. I assume you corked it before you left. Didn't want it leaking as you was carrying it.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was something the character would think of even if you as the player did.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to hide it from Bannock, since it is the good shit.
I put it in my.
I have a
bag
feeling it's
holding.
not as good a shit as Bannock is used to, and that Cole just got fleeced. I have a feeling.
Probably.
You have to get it appraised sometime if you want to know. Or try it yourself. So
I'll
that
try
goes
it
well.
later.
You've got the information you've gotten.
Is this building they're referring to too far from here?
It's several street crossings down, so it depends on how you consider it. You could probably get there in maybe 10 minutes or so, but you would be going alone, so it's totally up to
Yeah,
you.
you might be better
I'm
off
gonna
waiting for the
go
rest of the group in the
back
morning.
with the group.
Okay.
Mhm.
I got some decent information.
Alrighty. And you put the barrel away?
Yes, in my bag of holding.
Okay. So Cole shows back up, says he feels like he had a good trip to the bar, And we will go ahead and end it there, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 9:30 now, and I know we've got some people that are tired and everything, so I just don't want to go over too far.
And I has big day tomorrow.
Yep.
Good luck to you. Tomorrow is Banana's birthday.
Mm.
So
Happy early
everybody
birthday,
wish
banana.
Banana happy Banana Day.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday, Banana.
Thank you.
So again, I'm sorry that I had to take a short break there
fine.
to go help my mother. But I got back. I feel like we've made some good progress here, and hopefully it's not
Mhm.
another month and a half before we get to find out what happens next.
Well,
I hope
now
not.
we've got the talkie bit out of the way, so it's great.
Yeah,
Just
a little bit of the
investigation
talkie
now.
bit. Yeah. So thanks
Also,
everybody for stopping. Go ahead.
also to stream, wish Firebud a birthday because his birthday was last week.
Yep, my birthday was last Sunday.
Happy belated.
Happy late birthday.
Woo.
Yeah, happy belated birthday,
Indeed.
Dragon.
So thanks everybody for
All the
stopping by
birthdays.
on this 30th session of In the Demon's Grasp. Hopefully we get to see you soon for number 31. So bye-bye everybody. Rawr.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna go
Bye.
put a shower head in. Bye.
Bye.